And good morning. It is Friday. I'm your friend Scotty Ray. How do you feel? Today is the last day of January as we begin this very, very wet morning. We've had some minor incidents throughout each county this morning, so be careful where you are, especially approaching those four-way stop signs, on-ramps, getting on the interstate. Be careful. Slick, slick, slick it is. Highway Patrol has been busy in these early morning hours. On the way, we'll check your forecast. We've got a complete detail on that. When will the rain get away? As we glance at radar before we get the day started, as you'll see, western Lauderdale County going into the Clarkdale area and west over to Newton to Forest, even down most of Jasper County. Wet today. And Scuba, coming a little storm there as you go up through Presley Bottom and you get near that Noxubee County line. Right through there, it's a lot of rain there. Even western Philadelphia, Highway 16 west, if you're going toward Canton, anywhere on that 16 highway, be careful. It's flooding in that direction there. We'll give you more details. Also, some heavier showers over by the prison, Walnut Grove area. Be careful. Drive slower. School bus is rolling this morning as we get this day underway. Again, right now we're sitting at 56, a high of 68 later today. 70-degree weather nearly. January. We'll find out what will happen tomorrow, won't we? We'll get into that coming up at the top of the hour. Let's go out to Collinsville. I think we need a good word to get all this, get the day started right. Let's see what Brother Ben has to say.
Man, if you were alive in 2020, it was a tough year. On top of all the COVID lockdowns, we saw so many communities burn as riots broke out across America, sparked by the death of George Floyd. The arson, vandalism, and looting that occurred between May 26 and June 8 of that year caused approximately $1 to $2 billion in uninsured damages nationally. And it was the highest recorded damage from civil disorder in U.S. history, way surpassing the 1992 LA riots. It was so crazy to see and so unnecessary. Now, you might be thinking, hey, wait a minute, preacher. People have a right to protest. And I would say, you're right. They most certainly do. But nobody has a right to riot. Arson, vandalism, looting, they're not protected activities of protest. They're crimes and are dysfunctional, destructive, and foolish. Listen to the wisdom from Proverbs 29:8. Scoffers set a city aflame, but the wise turn away wrath. Beloved, there are times to make your voice heard, but the wise do so in peaceful and productive ways. The riots of 2020 left so many businesses, homes, communities, and lives ruined. The foolish set a city aflame, but the wise turn away wrath. May we follow that wise biblical way in the future. Change begins in you.
The Change Begins in You is brought to you in part by Piggly Wiggly of Collinsville, Patrick Allen Companies, Mitchell Tire and Wrecker in Collinsville, and Mowdy Cabinetry. And welcome back. Hope you enjoyed that message as we get our day going. We're going to get into all the politics this morning. Today is the last day to qualify. City of Meridian, probably in most places, are going to have elections this year. 5 p.m. is the deadline, City Hall in Meridian. Remember, it's City Hall, not the courthouse. It's city elections. So if you're planning on doing that, make sure to get that right. We'll tell you more about that as we get our final sheet from everybody. Good morning to you. Let's look over headlines that are starting to shape America this morning. And to some degree, I have to agree with this. Have you ever listened to NPR, PBS, any of those stations? On your radio, it's down there like 88. They get very political. That's where I have my problems with this. But the Trump administration is going to have the FCC investigating them over stations, over sponsorship. Those are run by the federal government and not supposed to have commercials on it. They say they haven't. They're being investigated. We'll see what happens. I'm more concerned about their political, the way they lean. It should be down the middle for no matter who you are. Just the news and nothing more. But in most agencies, that just doesn't happen, does it? That's NPR and PBS. We'll see what becomes of it there. Do y'all remember us talking this week? It was Japan. A sinkhole happened and a truck fell into it. Well, I guess I'll let that go by the wayside. I thought the guy had been pulled out of the hole. I can't see how you can't take a crane and lower down, and he's been in there since Tuesday. He has not gotten out, to my knowledge, as of yet. That's in Japan is where that happened. Huge sinkhole. We do hope they get him out. I don't think they've heard anything from him. He was 74 years old. They heard from him the first couple of days, and now not hearing much. Doesn't sound good. She's kicking and screaming, I'll say that. who I'm referring to as the Mexican president, she has fired off a letter to Google complaining that it is the Gulf of Mexico, not the Gulf of America. I think she lost the battle before she got in it. How do we say it? Done deal? She's trying. Good luck to her. This is I guess I hasn't thought about it. I remember as a kid, we've all had a headache, haven't we? And you have to take a couple of Tylenol, aspirin, whatever it is that you choose that seems to work for you. I did not realize that it had been 25 years that any type of medication like that had been approved by the FDA. They've got a new one finally that's going to be hitting store shelves. It's not supposed to be addictive, that type thing. Let me see if the name of it is Journavx. Journavx. That will be the next headache medicine out there for small pains and things. Maybe it'll be the cure for yours. We all get them to where your temple, y'all know what I'm talking about? That throbbing. Sometimes you just got a backache. You need a little help there. I am... I guess I base everything on Walker, Texas Ranger when it comes to this type of stuff. I absolutely love Chuck Norris and Walker, Texas Ranger. He always had a good role model. He'd done the right thing. Then they rolled out a new one. Somebody else playing him. The guy that was the Winchesters off of what was that? Superstitious. I'll think of it in a second. But the guy that played Sam on that show. It was awful to me. It took everything that was right about that show and they modernized it. And, well, Chuck Norris didn't drink. He didn't do that. He was just the role model for children. And to me, they ruined the episode by doing that. You know what the latest is they're getting ready to do? And let's keep our fingers crossed they don't mess this up. Little House on the Prairie. Netflix ready to do a reboot on this. I can't imagine Charles Ingalls doing something wrong, or one of those kids. It's scary to think what writers now will think and try to warp it. Let's just hope that it's normal. This comes after they've really done their studying of how many people still watch the show. It's huge, the reruns. But headed to Netflix near you. Let's hope it works out there. Now you ever want to do that? Here's your sign. You know those paint paddles? Sometimes somebody just needs a sign, and well, the teacher that used to pop your hand with those. New Zealand. I'm really not making this up. New Zealand, beautiful country. They just don't apparently have smart people there. They have now granted personhood to a mountain. No, I'm dead serious. They have now made a mountain that is a personhood, given all rights as a person. They've appointed 4 people to be the voice of the mountain. I can't even add anything to that. Just so you know, that's the way it is. A federal judge has blocked Trump on his first move of this, transgender. Remember the person, and I don't remember if I think it was a male wanting to be a female. I could be wrong on this, but anyway, they were supposed to be transported to a jail the way they were born. Whichever way that they didn't want to be, a federal judge has blocked it temporarily. I don't think it will last, but so far the judge has got that blocked for a few days anyway. Again, New Zealand, my friend, find you a plane ticket there that may work out for you. Mark Zuckerberg, the guy that owns Facebook, is out house hunting for a home in D.C. so he can be a little bit closer to what's going on in Washington to the president there with everything that's going on with technology. Maybe a smart move on his behalf. Let's see what else is going on this morning as we shape what's happening in America. Boy, if you've got stock in gold, record highs. It is trading now at $2,790. I don't happen to currently have any of that, but that's big, really big. I can't help but see this being a big push from a group there. Senator Ted Cruz and Markey do you remember how in the old days to where a car had to have a certain type radio? Well, we're starting to see where the Telsas and things don't even put them in there. It's all digital. Marco Rubio is saying, well, hey, hang on a minute. In case there was a disaster, it at least needs an AM radio because it's better than FM. It would be there if there's a disaster to put out emergency broadcasting. There's been several cars that have stopped doing it. What say you? We'll see where that goes. That they're trying to get that pushed through. As we start looking at the polls, and it's not going to be next year, but they're saying Ramaswamy has a huge lead for governor of Ohio already in the polls. I think a lot of people like this guy. He spoke with a lot of sense during those debates. Didn't pick on Trump. Said what he thought. We'll see this. Oh, did you have any mountains talk to you on the way in? Any hills or anything that wanted to identify as a person?
No, I'm glad I did.
He didn't have any of them. Yeah.
I read if one did.
Oh, have mercy, have mercy. We'll talk more about this also at 7 o'clock, but I wanted to do a brief mention on this in case you're going to work. As we find out more about this horrible plane crash that happened with the helicopter, there's a lot falling back on this, and they were saying that understaffing is going to have a huge play in this. And what we mean by that is there in the tower. It's supposed to be 2 people at all time, one that monitors helicopters, one that monitors airplanes. And then after a certain time of the night at 9:30, they decrease this to 1 person because air traffic calms down. The supervisor gave one of them time off early. So there was 1 person monitoring airplanes during a high traffic time. And a mistake happened. The helicopter was flying too high. It could be that he was told to fly too high or was not told any information. It's going to fall back in some shape, form, or way to that air traffic control. They're supposed to employ 30 people. They only have 19. That doesn't save anybody's life now, does it?
Wow.
As this develops. And what's so sad about this hits home so close to us. Macon, Mississippi. I know a lot of you watch from Noxubee County, Macon, Mississippi. The pilot, that Black Hawk, was from Macon. Just weed through the information that is out there. I don't believe this young man done anything wrong. Probably just wasn't told. You have to have that air traffic controller telling you who, what, and why. Burgum has been approved as Interior Secretary. Doug Burnham. He has been approved by the Senate. He is off to do his job now. Honolulu police have arrested 6 people in connection with a deadly fireworks blast. They set it off, caught an apartment complex on fire. They've arrested 6 people with that. Here's some good news for us tomorrow. 3 more hostages are going to be released, and one of them will be an American. That's coming from Gaza. That's the good news on that. Hang on, we're going to be right back with the weather forecast in just a moment. We'll dig deep into that, find out what's going on out there. Again, streets are wet. Be careful. We had a little incident a minute ago on County Road 512, Highway 512 in Clark County. And also we've had some in Newton County. Small things, nothing big. We'll be right back with that forecast in just a moment.
We welcome you to a new vehicle buying experience here at Doc's Toyota. Buying a new vehicle doesn't have to be stressful, but don't just take our word for it.
This was the best experience I've ever had buying a vehicle.
Doc's employees are top-notch.
I drove 2 hours, not once, but twice, to purchase 2 vehicles with a 5-month time frame.
Doc's delivers competitive pricing, a comprehensive selection, and flexible financing options, helping you get on the road from Carthage, Meridian, and beyond. There's a reason why there's no deal like a Doc's deal.
As the seasons change, so do your clothes, and Garrett Sport exactly what you need. Haybo shirts, long and short sleeve, also Hulk shirts, and America's favorite brand, Carhartt. Whether you need work pants or slacks for church, and nothing lasts like a pair of Carhartt overalls. Maybe it's a set of boots that you need to keep you dry in those wet conditions. And as hunting season rolls in, they have all the camouflage you need and toboggans to boot. Garrett Sports Center, 3505 8th Street, Meridian. LaWanda reminding us this morning that 1/12 of the year is already gone. She said time waits for no one. You know, LaWanda, I think you're right on that. It certainly doesn't there. It is flying. Make sure to get your birthdays in. Odie's going to want that in just a little bit.
Your forecast is brought to you by EMEPA, your Touchstone Energy Cooperative.
Our record highs and record lows as we look at them today. And I hit the wrong button, didn't I? Here we go. It was 1957. We had a high of 82 today. Back in 66, it was a chilly 13 degrees. My, as we look at this, what do we got today for our high? Now, we're going to have showers most likely through about 8 a.m. today. Then it will kind of taper off with sunshine peeking through in the afternoon with a high somewhere reaching anywhere from 68 to 71. It's back and forth on this. They've changed it several times. As we see this one showing 71 for Meridian, 69 in Columbus, and we'll see the 60-degree weather all the way down to Natchez there. Upper 60s, I might add. As we cross the Bama state line, we should see about 68 there around Livingston. Demopolis should see 67. And the lowest I see there, somewhere around Birmingham, 63, 62 area. Warmer on that east side of Bama, warming up to about 70. And today, I can't tell you just how windy it's going to be. They're already predicting that gusts will be somewhere around 35 miles an hour today. Be prepared for that. That's going to shake some stuff up. Perfect for clotheslines, though. As we look at this, eastern Alabama, Florida, up through the Carolinas, extremely hot. We've got our own heat wave rolling through Mississippi and Louisiana, back to Texas, southern Texas there, as we'll see 70-degree weather for several days. Almost 80 degrees. Y'all look out now. Next week, 80. Today, we see that 68 to 70-degree weather. We'll see 65 tomorrow. Perfect Saturday. Look at this. It's clearing out. Low of 42 with sunshine and 65. By Sunday, it gets a little bit better. We'll see 71. Monday, have mercy, 76, 76. And as we reach midweek, we're already at 78 degrees for Wednesday and Thursday. That's just summertime weather, isn't it? That's what I thought. As we move on through the 7th of February, we'll see 70. We'll get down to 69. And then that low point there on February 11th, it looks like it'll be 64. Nighttime lows only in the upper 40s, though. We've got pretty good weather in store for us. But again, it will feel like summertime for several days as we look at this. Let's talk about fishing in just a moment. If you've got a cane pole and a bobber and some worms, well, the best time to be out there is going to be at 2 o'clock this afternoon. 2 until about 4 is when I suggest being there. We've got a minor time this morning beginning at 8:30 till 10:30 if you just got to be out at Oak Tibby this morning on the bank. Good luck to you there. Again, that southwest wind 10 to 15, but look at these gusts of 35 miles an hour. Sunrise will happen in 1 minute from now. 6:49 is when it will hit, and then we'll see sunset rolling in at about 5:27 this afternoon. Each day we're getting a minute longer in the deer stand if you're sitting out there. Speaking of deer hunting, let's just find out about it. 1 o'clock this afternoon, perfect timing. 1 to 3 is peak time today, and it's good hunting is the way it's listed. Now we're getting 2 days extra of hunting. February 2nd, it's going to be the end. Yeah, that's on the agenda. Make sure to be out there. Enjoy it. You got a minor time this morning beginning at 8 through 9 o'clock if you want to do a morning hunt. Again, sunset happening at 5:27 and very gusty. It's not a day to be in a climber at all. It'll blow you. It'll feel like that tree's just y'all been there. 35-mile-an-hour gust is what we've got. Let's go look at radar now. Let's see what's going on with it, where we've got rain showers this morning as we pull this up. As you'll see that most of Lauderdale County under light shower activity in some shape, form, or way. Only Wyandotte doesn't have rain at this point. It'll make its way out there in just a little bit as we see that some of the heavier rain here in northern Lauderdale County. As we go up to take a look, this is going to be right past the four-way stop as you're heading toward that Newton County line. You'll get some showers there in northern Lauderdale County, just west of 495, up in Shucktown, getting wet right now. That's the heaviest we've got. Right over here, we've got some showers at the Duffy Volunteer Fire Department, raining pretty hard there. And as we look at Neshoba County, if you're going up Highway 19, as you pass House and go into that 2-lane, it's going to be kind of bumpy there for a little while. After you get to Tucker, it'll be heavy rain all the way into Philadelphia. And I know that we've got a little bit more 4-lane there. Some showers, pretty heavy as you go up Highway 15 also. That's 2-lane. Y'all be careful there around Neshoba Baptist. Even after you get up here to Linwood Baptist Church, it's going to be some heavier shower activity. And we see a little bit there just to the west of Turkey Creek over in Newton County. Some heavy showers all around the westbound, the eastbound lane there if you're coming toward Meridian out of Scott County at the Welcome Center. Showers there and light shower activity all around Enterprise. So those areas, be cautious, be careful, watch those school buses. Look at this line that we've had come through here. That's what it's done. Let's hit this place so you'll see what it looks like on radar as it moves across to the east, moving south-southeast out of the area. That's what the rain is doing this morning. Already 6:50, 6:51 as we begin this day. We're getting ready for the morning show. That girl is here. Greg's here. It's Fun Friday. Won't you join us? We'll be back live in about 6-7 minutes. We'll tell you all the latest things that are going on in the area. And we've got Odie over here, ball capped up. He's ready. Join us. We'll be right back as we begin this day. Alan, thanks for joining us. Celeste as well. We'll be right back.
The Scotty Ray Report is brought to you by our following partners.